before we get to tonight's Thursday night edition of Jimmy and the Fat Man, don't forget our big competition, $1 per follower, where if we get to 500 followers by May 1st, one lucky subscriber will win $500 just in time for Mother's Day. So don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim and the Fat Man, and you could be going in the running to win $500. Good evening and welcome to Thursday night's Jimmy and the Fat Man. And unfortunately, as has been the past this week, no Jimmy today, but I'm joined by Captain Movies. Yes, Captain Movies is with us. Hi everyone.
Hi. Hey,
so tonight being Thursday night, as is the new regular program around here, Thursday night football. We'll talk about all the football related issues and all the football... Not tissues, issues. And all the football related events, of course, with my co-host,
Daddy,
Captain Movies. Yes.
Daddy, the issue?
We're going to go to the issue. That's right. So, date lady.
Get ready!
We need the date. Mama Bear.
Sorry, just gone for a walk. I'm all sweaty.
I'm ready.
Today is Thursday, the 21st of April 2022.
And how was your day today?
It was good. I had to do a lot of admin work. I was on the computer most of the day. And tomorrow is the last day of my school holiday.
Oh, thank you. So say thank you very much.
Bye.
Tomorrow
Bye.
in Melbourne, 17 degrees and partly cloudy. So that's all the formalities out of the way. Let's get straight into it. This is Thursday night football. So we start away tomorrow, Friday the 22nd of April. Before we get started, let's do some talking points. I want to start off every week with some talking points. Melbourne are still the only undefeated side. They sit on top of the ladder, 5 wins, no losses. So Melbourne fans must all be happy, especially my Phil. He'd be over the moon. His teddy bear sitting firmly aplant. Well, be careful, firmly aplant the top of his couch. Fremantle, surprise pack of the year, sitting in second position. Western Bulldogs, last year's grand finalists, are sitting 10th on the ladder with only 2 wins. There are 4 teams on 1 win and 4 losses. Port Adelaide, the only team without a win. Tom Hawkins should have been fined for staging. That was a disgrace what he did last week. In fact, it's actually now put the umpiring in the spotlight. Really, putting your hand out this, being 50-metre penalties, an absolute disgrace. And it's an indictment of how the game has gone soft, and it is one of the main reasons why crowds are at an all-time low. Speaking about crowds being at all-time low, I got an email today that there are still tickets available for AFL members for Anzac Day. This is 4 days. It's unheard of that there are still seats for Anzac Day. 4 days before the game. They normally sell out well before this, so it's an absolute disgrace. In regards to stats, Hawkins of Geelong, Danaher of Brisbane, Max King of the Saints, all on top of the goal kicking ladder on 16 goals. And Darcy Parish from the Bombers leads the possession getters on 164 possessions. So that's the talking points for the round so far. Let's get straight into the games. So here we go, Thursday night football. Let's get straight into the actual football. So Friday night, tomorrow night, down in Canberra, GWS take on the Saints at Manuka Oval. The Saints have won 4 on the trot since round 1 and sit 4th. GWS are 1-4 and sit 14th. Now, I didn't write any stats for this, so forgive me, I'm going to read them off where I get it. GWS have conceded a goal from 28.1% of their opponents inside 50 this season, ranked last. So that's really, really good. And for the Saints, since round 2, the Saints have won the contested possession count by 19 a game, ranked number 1. So the Saints are on top in regards to their contested possession game. The Saints have won the last 2 against the Giants, and I'm tipping that to continue. I'm tipping the Saints to win against the Giants. Now, in regards to ins and outs, because they have just come in, for the GWS Giants, the ins, Toby Green, Braden Pruce, and Isaac Cumming are in. Hogan De Boer, which is a big one. O'Halloran and Riccardi are out. For the Saints, Jimmy Webster in, Leinart and Ryan Barnes are out. So let's get on to the next game. Saturday at 1:45, Western Bulldogs take on the Crows. The Dogs won last week and are sitting 10th on the ladder, as I said at the start of the show. The Crows had a big upset against the Tigers. That was a great victory for the Crows last week, and are sitting 2 and 3 in 13th. Both teams are a win out of the 8. For the Dogs, some big ins. Stephen Martin is in with Josh Shackey. Ryan McComb is in as well. Lockie Hunter, Timmy English, big out. Riley Garcia and Mitch Wallace all out. For the Crows, Jackson Haitley is in. Rory Sloan and James Rowe out. So big loss to lose Rory Sloan. The Bulldogs have generated an inside 50 from 32% of their kicking chains, ranked second in the league. The Crows are the number 1 ranked scoring team from clearance in the last 4 weeks. So they've obviously got a good up-and-coming midfield, averaging 45 points a game. The Bulldogs have won the last 3 against the Crows by an average of 47 points a game. I'm tipping that will continue. And then that moves us across to Port Adelaide, taking on the Eagles at Adelaide Oval in the Fat Rats Clacker Cup. Fat Rats Clacker Cup. Obviously, both teams struggling this year. Both teams will be looking to get a win on the board. It'll be the Powers first if they win, and the Eagles second after they got demolished by the Swans last week. For the Power, Ollie Wines is in. Kane Farrell is in. Eamon, Mead and McKenty all out. For the Eagles, always big changes. Xavier O'Neill, Connor West and Luke Snardika are in. Rotham, Jones, Langdon and Dixon all out. We've got the Power outscored Carlton from intercept possessions for the first time this year. It's the first time that they've won the intercept possession game this year, and they still lost. And the West Coast have only generated 29 inside 50s last week against the Swans. It was their lowest for a team this year. And interestingly, Port Adelaide actually lead the league in tackles this year with 311. Show tackle numbers can be conceiving, because if you're having to tackle, you don't have the ball. West Coast and Port Adelaide have split the last 4 with 2 each. I think Port Adelaide will win this quite easily at their home ground. Which moves us to Saturday night. Fremantle play Carlton in a genuine blockbuster. Fremantle are sitting second after dismantling the Bombers away. Carlton are 4-1, but with a percentage of 102.6. They are. The teams are scoring at 40.5% accuracy against the Dockers, which is the lowest in the AFL the last 4 weeks, which shows that teams having to work really hard to score against the Dockers. So big ups to the Docks. And the Blues are the best team in the AFL at scoring from centre bounce clearance, averaging 2 goals to a game, which is not a big surprise considering their much vaunted midfield. They've got a very strong midfield. The Dockers haven't beaten the Blues since 2018. I think that'll change here. I am tipping the Dockers against the Blues. So then we move to Sundays. Our Sunday. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't go through the ins and outs. So for the Dockers and the Blues, for Fremantle, Griffin Logue, Lockie Schultz are in. Hayden Young, Banfield and Heath Chapman are out. Big in for the Blues. Patrick Cripps is in. Kennedy and Paddy Dow are out. So move on to the Sunday games, and of course I don't really bring ins and outs for the Sunday games because those games can change. So Sunday at 1:10 p.m, North Melbourne take on Geelong at Bloodstone Arena. For North Melbourne have copped a lot of criticism after being flogged by the Dogs on Good Friday, and the Cats are 7th after being upset by the Hawks last week. The Kangaroos had just 288 possessions last week against the Doggies, the only team this year to not break the 300 mark. And the Cats defense has been airtight in the last month, conceding a goal from just 28.2% of all entries, ranked 17th in the competition. So well done to the Cats. The Cats have won their last 8 against the Kangas. I'm tipping they're probably going to go 9 in a row. Which then moves us on to the 4:10 p.m. game, which is the Coup Clash. Gold Coast Suns versus Brisbane. The Suns are sitting 12th. The Suns are sitting 12th after losing to the Saints last week, which is a bit of a shame considering their big win against the Blues the week before. While the Lions just got over the Pies on an Easter Thursday thriller and are sitting 3rd on 4-1. The Suns go long with their kicks more than any other team. They're 45.7% of their kicks are long kicks. and the Lions have outscored their opponents by 10 points a game from clearance this year, ranked 3rd. The Lions won their last 6 against the Suns. They'll win 7 in a row this week as well. So I tip they're going to beat the Gold Coast Suns. Then we have the Anzac Eve game with so we now have the Anzac Eve game between Richmond and Melbourne. The Tigers are 11th after losing to the Crows. Melbourne, of course, are the undefeated Kings of 2022, sitting on top of the ladder and undefeated. The Demons are 2nd for scoring from intercept this year, outscoring their opponents by 6 goals a game. It's big. And Richmond are the 50-metre penalty Kings this year. They've given away 17 50-metre penalties, more than double the next worst. So they really have to work on their discipline. In fact, I'm pretty sure they lead the free kicks against this year as well. Richmond have won 5 of the last 6 against Melbourne, but Melbourne did win the Anzac Eve game last year. I think they'll win this one as well. The D's, that is. Hawthorn and Sydney kick off Anzac Day at 12:30 in Tasmania. The Hawks are in the 8th after beating the Cats last week. The Swans are 5th, but 4-1, so equal 2nd and playing very well. The Hawks have generated an inside 50 from 30% of their rebound 50s, ranked 3rd in the AFL. The Swans are the 2nd best side when seeking their tackles, with a tackle efficiency of 65%. So they're really, as always, as you speak with the Swans, they're very hard in and under. The last 4 have gone 2-2 between these two, and I think the Swans will win this one in a close one. And of course, we go to Monday afternoon, the Essendon versus Collingwood Anzac Day blockbuster. The Bombers are 15th after being beaten by the Dockers last week, and the Pies have lost 3 in a row. They're sitting 9th after losing to the Lions in that thriller that I was talking about last week. The Bombers lose the around the ground clearance by 5 a game in the last month, so they've been smashed by the media this week. So you can bet that they'll respond, particularly in close. And they rank last for clearances around the ground in the last 4 weeks. The Pies have won the time in their forward half differential by 10 minutes a game, ranked number 1. However, they're not scoring from that, so they're going to want to have to build it. So both sides, well, considering the Bombers lost last week and the Pies have lost 3 in a row, both sides are going to need to improve for the remainder of the year. Essendon have won the last 3 against the Pies, but I am tipping the Pies to turn the table against the Bombers this week. Have they released the teams? I don't think they've released the teams. Yes, so some really big ins for the Bombers this week, of course, against Collingwood. Stringer, Merritt in with Bryan and Baldwin. Andrew Phillips and Tom Cutler out. For the Pies, Brody Mychek, Bo McCreary, Tyler Brown and Caleb Poulter are in. Mason Cox out along with Jordan Ruffhead. He had finger surgery during the week. So there you have it. There are the games for this week. So just to refresh on my tips for those of you tipping at home, of course, this has nothing to do with gambling. I don't agree with gambling and don't think the football should be gambled on in the state that it is. I'm going to tip the Saints against the Giants. I'm going to tip Western Bulldogs against Adelaide, although I did initially tip the Crows. I'm going to tip Port to beat the Eagles. I'm going to tip Freo against Carlton, Geelong against North, Brisbane versus Gold Coast. I'm going to tip Melbourne. I'm going to tip to beat Richmond, Sydney to beat the Hawks, and the Pies to beat the Bombers. So there you have it. That's it for Thursday Night Football on Jimmy and the Fat Man. Tomorrow is Friday, and then of course we have the long weekend. And don't forget, Monday, the Fat Man will be live on location from Anzac Day as Essendon take on Collingwood from the MCG in the big Anzac Day clash. So it'll be just like you're sitting there with me. So everyone, have a marvelous, absolutely amazing Thursday night. Have a great start to your weekend Friday. I'll see you tomorrow. From my family to yours, peace.